Smile more, Daniel said, adjusting the necklace around my neck. You look nervous. I'm not nervous, I replied softly. Just tired from planning everything. You worry too much, he laughed. That's why I have you. I smiled because it sounded like affection. Inside, it sounded like responsibility. Emma crossed her arms in the kitchen. You booked the venue, paid the deposit, and handled his guests too? He's busy with work, I answered. He always is. I poured tea. Marriage means helping each other. Emma sighed. Helping, not carrying. You don't understand him. No, she said quietly. I understand you. Later that evening, Daniel called. Did you confirm the photographer? Yes. And the cake? Yes. And the hotel rooms for my relatives? I handled that too. He chuckled. I'd be lost without you. I held the phone tighter. That's what partners do. Exactly, he said. You're perfect wife material. I waited for I love you. He hung up first. The next day, Mrs. Hayes inspected the invitation cards. The font looks cheap, she said. I chose the elegant version. I replied carefully. You don't have good taste yet, she answered. But you'll learn after marrying into our family. I forced a smile. I'll try harder. You should, she said. Daniel deserves a woman who elevates him. Her words stung, but I nodded, because loving him meant enduring her. That night, Daniel texted at midnight. Daniel, still awake? Me, waiting for you. Daniel, busy. Sleep. Me, everything okay? Daniel, don't start questioning me again. I stared at the screen, then typed. Me, sorry. Good night, red heart. He didn't reply. I blamed stress. Emma sat beside me on the couch. He's cold to you, she said. He's tired. You defend him before I even accuse him. Because I know him. She shook her head. No, you know who you want him to be. That's unfair. So is loving someone alone. I whispered. He loves me. Emma looked at me gently. Then why do you look lonely every time you say it? I had no answer, so I changed the topic. 2 days before the wedding, I brought Daniel lunch at his office. His coworkers smiled. You're lucky, man, one said. Perfect fiancé, another added. Daniel wrapped an arm around my shoulder. She takes care of everything. Pride warmed my chest. I felt chosen. On the way out, I noticed a message flash on his phone. Can't wait to see you tonight. I froze. Who's that? I asked lightly. Client, he replied instantly. Don't overthink. I nodded, because trusting him was easier than fearing him. That night, I steamed my wedding dress. The fabric shimmered under the light. My hands trembled, but I smiled at my reflection. I whispered to the mirror, to my future, to the hope I refused to doubt. If love needs proof, I will always prove mine. I stood outside Daniel's apartment holding a paper bag. I'll surprise him, I whispered to myself. He hasn't eaten all day. The hallway smelled like perfume I didn't wear. I knocked once. No answer. I smiled nervously and used the spare key. The moment the door opened, laughter spilled into the hall. A woman's laughter. My fingers froze on the handle. I stepped inside slowly. Daniel? I called. Silence. Then a voice, soft, playful. You worry too much. My chest tightened. I walked toward the bedroom. Each step felt heavier than the last. I pushed the door open. Everything inside me stopped. Daniel sat on the bed. Vanessa sat beside him. Too close. His hand rested on her waist. Her lipstick was smudged. My ears rang. For a moment nobody spoke. Then I heard my own voice, shaking. What is this? Vanessa gasped and pulled the blanket around herself. Lily, this isn't. Daniel stood up fast, his face turning hard instead of guilty. Why are you here? He asked sharply. I brought dinner. I whispered. You shouldn't come without telling me. I blinked. I used the key you gave me. That doesn't mean you can invade my privacy. My heart cracked louder than his words. Privacy? I repeated. Daniel, you're in bed with her. Vanessa started crying instantly. I told you she'd misunderstand. I stared at her. Misunderstand what? Daniel rubbed his forehead in annoyance. This is exactly why I didn't want you coming. My voice trembled. Explain it. There's nothing to explain. I laughed weakly. Nothing. Vanessa wiped fake tears. I was upset about work. He was comforting me. In bed. I asked. She looked down. I felt dizzy. I looked at Daniel, begging silently. He sighed, irritated. You always overreact. My hands shook. Are you cheating on me? His expression turned cold.
No.
You're being dramatic. I felt my throat closing. Then why does this look like betrayal? He stepped closer, eyes sharp. Because you don't trust me. My chest tightened painfully. Trust doesn't mean blindness. Vanessa sobbed louder. I knew she hated me. I don't hate you, I said faintly. I just walked in on you half-dressed with my fiancé. Daniel snapped, voice rising. You pushed me away, Lily. This is your fault. The world tilted. My fault, I whispered. You're always busy fixing things, planning things, controlling everything. I needed comfort. So you slept with her? I didn't say that. You didn't deny it either. He crossed his arms.
See?
You already decided I'm guilty. Tears blurred my vision. Daniel, please tell me I'm wrong. He stayed silent. Vanessa cried into his shoulder. That silence answered everything. My legs weakened. I stepped back and hit the wall. I trusted you, I murmured. You suffocated me, he replied flatly. My heart shattered completely. The bag slipped from my hand. Food spilled across the floor. I came to take care of you, I said softly. I never asked you to, he answered. I looked toward the living room. Kevin stood near the door. He had been there the whole time. Our eyes met. Kevin, I whispered, desperate. Tell me the truth. He opened his mouth, then closed it. I don't want to get involved, he muttered. That hurt almost as much as Daniel. I laughed weakly, tears falling freely now. So I'm crazy, I said. I imagined all of this. Daniel didn't reply. Vanessa held his arm tighter. My voice broke. I'm the only one who loved honestly here. No one stopped me as I walked out. Not Daniel. Not Vanessa. Not Kevin. The door closed behind me, and something inside me never opened again. My phone rang nonstop the next morning. Emma grabbed it first. Why are people sending you screenshots? I don't know, I whispered. She froze. Lily, what did he post? I took the phone from her hands. A long message filled the screen. Daniel, I stayed silent to protect her, but she betrayed me first. I caught her with another man. The wedding is canceled. I hope she finds help. My hands went numb. I never. My voice broke. Emma cursed. He's lying. Comments kept appearing. Poor Daniel. She looked innocent. Disgusting woman. Men deserve better. I dropped the phone. Why would he do this? An hour later, Mrs. Hayes called. You shameless girl, she said immediately. I didn't cheat, I replied weakly. Daniel cried all night. After everything we gave you. I loved him. You embarrassed our family. Don't contact us again. She hung up. I stared at the wall. She didn't even ask. Emma squeezed my hand. Because she doesn't want truth. At work, whispers followed me. 2 coworkers stopped talking when I entered. Another one murmured. She's brave, showing her face. I approached my manager. Can we talk?
He sighed.
Office relationships affect reputation, Lily. I didn't cheat. I'm not judging, he said, clearly judging. But tension makes clients uncomfortable. So you believe him? He avoided my eyes. Maybe take leave. I walked back to my desk while conversations died around me. My chair suddenly felt like a courtroom. My aunt called next. I raised you better, she said. You didn't hear my side. I don't need to. Daniel is respectable. My throat tightened. And I'm not. Silence. Then she hung up. Emma slammed her laptop shut. I posted your explanation. No, I whispered. They won't listen. They will. Minutes later, notifications exploded again. New comments appeared. Excuses. She's gaslighting him. Women always play victim. Emma read them aloud angrily. They don't know you. They don't want to, I said quietly. That evening Daniel called. I stared at his name before answering. Why? I asked immediately. You forced me, he replied calmly. I caught you cheating. You invaded my home and created drama. So you destroyed my reputation? I protected mine. My heart pounded. Tell the truth. No one cares about details, he said. They care about dignity. My life is falling apart. You should have thought earlier. I trembled. You're punishing me for seeing reality. I'm moving on, he answered. You should too. The call ended. Emma hugged me while I shook. I'll fix this, she said. You can't fix a lie people enjoy. She whispered. I believe you. I cried harder. I needed him to. The wedding venue called next. We regret to inform you the event has been cancelled per the groom's request. My voice cracked. He cancelled publicly?
Yes.
Guests have been notified. I imagined hundreds reading the message. Humiliation spread through me like cold water. That night I sat on the floor surrounded by my unopened wedding gifts. Emma knelt beside me. Talk to me. I defended him to everyone. I whispered. You loved him. I trusted him. Tears fell onto the dress box. My voice barely existed anymore. Why am I the villain in his crime? I stood outside Daniel's office building holding the ring box. Emma's voice echoed in my head. Don't go alone. I need closure, I had told her. Now my hands shook so badly, I almost dropped it. I texted him. I'm downstairs. Please come. 5 minutes later he walked out, calm, neat, untouched by everything that destroyed me. You shouldn't be here, he said. I came to return this, I replied, opening my palm. He glanced at the ring.
Keep it.
I don't want anything from you.
He sighed.
Lily, creating scenes won't fix your image. My image? I laughed weakly. You ruined my life. You ruined it yourself by overreacting. You cheated. You assumed. You let everyone think I betrayed you. He shrugged. People reached conclusions. Because you lied. He checked his watch. I have a meeting. My chest tightened. Say it once. Tell the truth. Why? He asked. So you feel better? So I know I mattered. He looked at me without warmth. You were convenient. The word sliced deeper than any insult. Convenient. I whispered. You organized my life, he said plainly. But relationships change. With my coworker? My voice cracked. You pushed me away emotionally. I laughed through tears. I loved you too much. That was your choice. I stared at him. You don't regret it? No, he answered calmly. I regret the drama. My breathing turned uneven. Then take it, I said, trying to place the ring in his hand. He stepped back. I told you, keep it. I don't want memories. Throw it away. My fingers loosened. The ring fell between us and rolled across the pavement. Neither of us picked it up. Cars rushed past nearby. Everything felt loud and distant at the same time. Was any of it real? I asked softly. He didn't answer immediately. Then he said, it was comfortable. My vision blurred completely. I defended you, I whispered. Even yesterday. You should move on, he replied. This obsession isn't healthy. Obsession. The world tilted. I lost everyone, I said. My family doubts me. My work doubts me. You erased me. You'll recover, he said casually. I stepped backward without noticing the curb. Lily, he added impatiently, go home. Tears flooded my eyes. I hope one day you feel this, I said. He shook his head. I won't. A horn blared. Bright headlights filled my vision. I didn't even realize I was in the road until someone screamed. My foot slipped. Pain exploded. Then silence. Beeping sounds surrounded me. My body felt heavy. I couldn't move. Stay with me, a gentle voice said. A hand held mine. Can you hear me? I'm Hannah, the nurse. My lips barely moved. A.M. I dying? Don't talk, she whispered, but her voice trembled. I struggled to breathe. I didn't do anything wrong. You're not alone, she said softly. My chest hurt less suddenly. Everything faded into gray. I thought about the ring on the ground, about believing love meant endurance, about defending someone who never defended me. My final whisper escaped slowly. If I had one more chance, I wouldn't love him again. Darkness answered, and I let go. Lily, are you even listening? I blinked. Emma stood in front of me, holding 2 coffee cups. You've been staring at nothing for 5 minutes. My heart pounded violently. Emma, what day is it? She frowned. Tuesday. Why? What month? April. The cup slipped from my hand and hit the floor. April. Months before the engagement. Months before the betrayal. I grabbed her wrist. Say the year. She laughed nervously. Are you okay? It's the same year it's always been. My breathing stopped. I rushed to the mirror. No hospital gown. No scars. No hollow eyes. I touched my face slowly. I'm alive, I whispered. Emma stepped closer. You're scaring me. I backed away from her. I remember everything. Everything. The wedding, the cheating, the accident. She stared. You had a nightmare. No, I said softly. I died. Silence filled the room. Emma exhaled carefully. Okay, sit down. I sat, but my hands kept shaking. I saw him with her. I murmured. I heard his lies. I heard the comments. I felt the car. Emma crouched in front of me. You're pale. I know what happens, I said. All of it. She touched my forehead. You need rest. I looked at her, really looked. She still trusted Daniel at this point. She still smiled when she said his name. And I still loved him. My stomach twisted. My phone buzzed on the table. Daniel calling. My chest tightened instantly. Emma grinned. Speak of the devil. I stared at the screen. In my memory, I would answer sweetly. Today my finger hovered. Then I picked up. Hey, he said casually. Did you check the reservation, I asked? I closed my eyes. The same voice. The same calm tone. Yes, I replied flatly. You sound weird. I'm busy.
Pause.
You never say that to me. I leaned back slowly. People change. He chuckled. Not you. You worry about me too much. My grip tightened around the phone. Not anymore. I have work, I said. Wait, he replied. Dinner tonight? I remembered the night that started everything.
No.
Silence stretched. Did I do something? He asked. Yes, I whispered. Just not yet. What? Nothing, I said and hung up. Emma stared wide-eyed. You rejected him? I nodded. You love him. I looked toward the window. I loved a future that doesn't exist anymore. The entire day felt unreal. Every place held memories that hadn't happened yet. The cafe where rumors began. The street where I died. The office where he smiled while lying. I sat alone and wrote everything I remembered in a notebook.
Dates.
Conversations.
Mistakes.
My hands stopped shaking as I wrote. Fear slowly turned into clarity. I wasn't sent back to suffer again. I was sent back with knowledge. That meant choice. Emma sat beside me later. You've been quiet all day. I'm thinking. About Daniel? I shook my head. About myself. She studied my face. You feel different. I smiled faintly. I am. That night my phone buzzed again. Daniel. Did I upset you? Me, no. Daniel. Then why distant? Me. Learning ballads. Daniel. I liked you better before. Me. I didn't. I put the phone down. For the first time, I didn't feel anxious waiting for his reply. I felt calm, cold, aware. I looked at my reflection once more and spoke quietly. This time, I won't beg. I will watch him fall. The fear disappeared, and a new version of me finally began to live. Lily, can you fix the presentation slides? Daniel asked, dropping his laptop on my desk. I didn't look up.
No.
He blinked. No. I have my own deadlines. You always help me. I met his eyes calmly. Not anymore. He laughed awkwardly. You're joking. I'm not. Silence stretched between us. Fine, he muttered. I'll handle it. I watched him walk away, remembering every night I stayed awake doing his work while he slept peacefully. Today, I opened my own project instead. An hour later, he returned. Why is the client asking questions about data errors? He demanded. I shrugged. Because the data is wrong. You usually check it. I'm not responsible for your reports. His jaw tightened. You're acting strange. I'm acting fair. He stared at me longer than usual before leaving again. My chest felt lighter. During lunch, Sophia slid into the chair beside me. You rejected Daniel and ignored his work requests, she whispered. Who are you, and where is my friend? I smiled faintly. Maybe she was tired. You used to defend him like oxygen. I was suffocating. She studied me carefully. Did he hurt you? Yes, I said honestly. Just not today. She didn't ask more. Good, she replied instead. You deserve peace. For the first time, support didn't feel like pity. Later, my manager called me into a meeting room. A man in a gray suit stood beside him. This is Marcus Reed, the contract lawyer, my manager said. He needs project clarification. Marcus nodded slightly. Hello. His tone was calm, neutral, respectful. Not charming. Not dismissive. Just equal. I explained the documents. He listened carefully. After 10 minutes, he said, Your analysis is clear. I paused. Thank you. You didn't over-explain, he added. Most people do. I almost laughed. I'm used to being ignored. I wasn't ignoring you, he said simply. Something warm flickered inside me. Respect felt unfamiliar. When the meeting ended, Daniel cornered me outside. You spoke to him longer than necessary. He asked questions. You seemed comfortable. I was working. His voice sharpened. You never sound that patient with me anymore. I answered quietly. Because you never listened. He had no reply. That evening, Sophia walked with me toward the exit. Coffee, she asked. I have somewhere else to go.
Date.
I shook my head. Bank. She raised a brow. Responsible era? I'm opening an investment account. What about the money you saved for wedding expenses? Not happening, I said calmly. She smiled slowly. I like this version of you. So do I. My phone buzzed. Daniel, need help tonight. Urgent. I typed back. Me figured out. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. No reply came. I locked my phone and kept walking. The air felt different. For the first time, my future didn't revolve around him. And for the first time, his problems didn't belong to me. The balance between us had quietly shifted. And neither of us could undo it now. I leaned against the break room counter, while Vanessa stood beside Daniel near the printer. I don't understand these numbers, she said softly. Daniel sighed. You're overthinking. Come here. I pretended to stir my coffee while watching their reflection in the microwave door. Too close. Too familiar. Exactly like before. Sophia whispered beside me. You're unusually calm. I'm observing, I replied. You used to glare at her. I used to be blind. Later I passed Vanessa in the hallway. Daniel explains things well, I said casually. She smiled carefully. He's patient. You should ask him more often. Her eyes flickered with interest. You don't mind? I trust him, I answered, my voice steady. That was the first step. That evening I left my phone recording inside the shared project folder on the desk. I walked out slowly, then waited around the corner. Voices appeared minutes later. Vanessa laughed softly. She really believes you. Daniel chuckled. She always does. So why stay with her? She's useful. My fingers tightened around the wall. Vanessa lowered her voice. And me. You're exciting. And if she finds out, she won't. She needs me too much. Silence. Then fabric rustled. I stopped breathing. The next morning, Kevin approached me in the parking lot. Can we talk? He asked quietly. I nodded. He rubbed his neck nervously. About that night. You mean when you watched my life collapse? His face paled. I didn't know what to say. You knew the truth. I didn't want to get involved between you two. I held his gaze. Silence is involvement. He looked down. I'm sorry. Are you sorry for me or for yourself? For both, he admitted. He wasn't the man I thought either. I studied him for a moment. Would you speak if it happened again? He hesitated. That was enough answer. Daniel texted me during lunch. Daniel, dinner tonight? I miss you. I typed slowly. Me, busy. Daniel, you've changed. Me, people do when they stop pretending. He called immediately. Why distant? He asked. Why dishonest? I replied calmly.
He scoffed.
You're imagining things again. I almost laughed. Daniel, I said gently. What do you love about me?
He paused.
You support me. And if I didn't? You would, he answered confidently. I ended the call. That night, I replayed the recording again. His voice sounded warm, familiar, safe, yet empty. Every word aimed at control, not connection. Emma sat beside me. Are you okay? I finally understand him, I whispered. What did you learn? I closed my eyes. He doesn't want love. He wants worship. The restaurant lights glowed warm above us. Music played softly. Too familiar. Too planned. I knew what was about to happen before Daniel even stood up. He tapped his glass. Everyone turned. My heart stayed steady. Lily, he said with a gentle smile, these past weeks made me realize how much you mean to me. People around us murmured. Emma stiffened beside me. Daniel knelt and opened the ring box. I want to start fresh, he continued. Marry me. Gasps spread across the room. All eyes moved to me. In my memory, I cried happily. Tonight, I only watched him. He looked confident.
Certain.
He expected gratitude. He expected relief. He expected ownership. Say yes, someone whispered behind me. Emma squeezed my arm. You don't have to. Daniel's smile faltered slightly. Lily, I exhaled slowly. Then I smiled. Yes. Silence fell. Emma's grip loosened in shock. Daniel's relief was instant. I knew you still loved me. I nodded softly. Of course. Inside, I felt nothing. Outside the restaurant, Emma grabbed me. What are you doing? She whispered harshly. Ending something properly. You just walked back into the same pain. No, I said calmly. This time I'm walking him into truth. She stared at me. You're scaring me. Trust me. She hesitated but nodded slowly. The next day, Daniel held my hand at work more than usual. You've become quiet, he said. I'm peaceful. I like this version, he smiled. You're less emotional. I looked at him gently. You always preferred me agreeable. He laughed. Life is easier that way. For you, I replied softly. He didn't notice. That afternoon, Marcus asked me to review contract files again. When we finished, he closed the folder but didn't stand. You accepted his proposal, he said calmly. Yes. You don't look happy. I'm prepared. For marriage. For closure. He watched me carefully. Those aren't the same thing. I stayed silent. Marcus leaned back slightly. Are you sure you want revenge, not freedom? The question landed heavier than I expected. I'm not angry anymore, I answered slowly. Then why stay? Because truth matters. And after truth? I hesitated. The first hesitation since Rebirth. I don't know, I admitted. Marcus nodded gently. Freedom sometimes requires walking away, not proving a point. I whispered. He ruined my life once. And holding him in it again ties you to him, he said. I looked at my ring. For the first time, doubt touched my certainty. Maybe, I murmured. Marcus stood. Just don't lose yourself while exposing him. I watched him leave. The plan still existed. But now a question lived beside it. For the first time, revenge didn't feel simple anymore. Why did the client reject my proposal? Daniel snapped, throwing papers onto the desk. I kept typing. Because the financial projections don't match reality. You checked them before. Not anymore. He stared at me. You want me to fail? I want you to work. His jaw tightened. You've changed since the engagement. I looked up calmly. I stopped doing your job. Vanessa walked in minutes later. Daniel, you promised lunch, she said softly. He glanced at me first. Busy. She pouted. You said that yesterday too. I have pressure, he replied. She leaned closer. You weren't this stressed when Lily helped you. I pretended not to hear. His expression darkened. That afternoon, Mrs. Hayes called me. You're neglecting him, she said sharply. I'm respecting boundaries. A wife supports her husband. I'm not his wife yet. You trapped him with emotions, she continued. Now you refuse responsibility? I tapped my phone screen quietly, recording. He proposed, I replied. Because you guilt him after embarrassing him, she said. Interesting, I murmured. What? Nothing, I answered sweetly. Please continue.
She scoffed.
If his career suffers, it will be your fault. I ended the call. Another piece of truth saved. Later in the conference room, a man reviewed our team reports. This analysis is precise, he said, reading mine. My manager nodded. Lily prepared it. The man extended his hand. Adrian Cole. I shook it. Nice to meet you. You understand risk balance better than your department average, he said. Who trained you? I learned by fixing mistakes repeatedly.
He studied me.
You should lead the next project. My manager looked surprised. She's junior. Not in capability, Adrian replied calmly. My chest warmed. I'll do my best. I expect you will, he said. When the meeting ended, Daniel cornered me. You never told me you were presenting to the CEO, he said. I didn't think it mattered. You're my fiancé. I'm also an employee.
He frowned.
You're becoming ambitious. I'm becoming independent. His voice lowered. People will think you don't prioritize our future. Our future depends on honesty, not dependence. He looked unsettled. That evening, Sophia hugged me. You got promoted. Project lead. I corrected, smiling. You deserve it. Across the office, Daniel watched us silently. For the first time, uncertainty lived in his eyes. My phone buzzed. Daniel, we need to talk tonight. I typed back. Me. I'm busy working. 3 dots appeared, then stopped. I slipped the phone into my bag and walked past him. For the first time, he looked afraid of losing something. And it wasn't love. It was control. The hall sparkled with flowers and lights. Guests whispered, unaware of the storm about to hit. I stood at the entrance, my gown flowing around me. Every seam, every fold, a reminder of the life I once lost. Emma's hand squeezed mine. Are you ready? I nodded. More than ever. Daniel stood at the altar, smiling confidently. The same confident smile that once hid betrayal. Vanessa sat in the front row, pretending to enjoy the ceremony. The officiant cleared his throat. We are gathered here. I walked slowly forward, deliberately pausing so Daniel noticed me. Really noticed me. He whispered, You look beautiful. I know. He chuckled softly, finally admitting love. I didn't answer. When we reached the center, the officiant asked, Do you, Lily, take Daniel? I stopped. My hand hovered near the microphone. Guests leaned forward. Instead of vows, I pressed play on the hidden recorder. Vanessa's soft voice first. I can't believe this is happening. He said he loved me. Daniel's voice followed. You pushed me away, Lily. It's not my fault. Gasps erupted. I didn't flinch. Then Mrs. Hayes screamed, You shameless girl. You ruined him. You have no idea how to be a proper woman. The hall froze. Phones emerged. Everyone was recording, including Ryan Blake, a journalist I had discreetly invited. He winked at me from the back. Daniel's face drained. Lily, stop this. I raised my voice, calm and clear. We're talking, Daniel. Now everyone can hear. He took a step forward, eyes wild. Please, we can talk. I didn't mean. You didn't mean? I repeated. You lied, you cheated, you ruined my life, and everyone believed your version. He looked around, realizing the witnesses were no longer his allies but judges. Vanessa whispered, You set me up? I set the truth free. I said softly. Mrs. Hayes gasped and tried to storm forward, but security stopped her. Daniel sank into his knees. Lily, please. I love you. You have to believe me. I smiled faintly, a predator who had finally caught her prey. You never loved anyone, Daniel. Love isn't control. Admiration isn't love. But now, everyone will understand. Ryan raised his camera. This is unbelievable. Full confession live. I felt the silence shift into chaos. Phones recorded. Guests whispered. Social media notifications already pinged. Daniel's hands shook. I can fix this.
Please.
I'll explain everything. You've explained enough, I said. Your lies, your manipulation, all heard now. And for once, I am not the victim who stays silent. He clutched the altar. Don't do this. Please, I pressed another button. His words from months ago played. She's convenient. She'll forgive anything. Gasps again. Some guests laughed in disbelief. Some cried. I turned to Emma. Is everyone listening? She nodded fiercely. Daniel buried his face in his hands. I'm sorry. No, I whispered. You'll never get an apology that matters. Not today. Not ever. The officiant looked stunned. Miss, Lily is the ceremony. I shook my head. We're done. The wedding that was supposed to be my trap for love became my stage for justice. I walked down the aisle slowly, confidently, leaving Daniel kneeling, Vanessa frozen, his mother fuming, and Ryan filming every second. And I realized, finally, the most satisfying sound wasn't applause. It was the sound of truth reverberating through the hall. The news hit first. Daniel's company lost a major contract. Unbelievable, Vanessa said, slamming her laptop shut. I thought he had control. I knew better. I replied quietly, reviewing my own rising projects. Friends stopped calling. Calls went unanswered. Texts ignored. Even Kevin avoided him, at first. I heard rumors he tried to meet journalists, only to be rejected. People don't trust him anymore, Sophia said gently. I don't either, I admitted. Vanessa finally walked away. I can't be part of this, she whispered. You win. I nodded. Relief tasted sweeter than revenge. Daniel called. I didn't answer. The next week, his name trended online. Exposed, cheater, manipulative. I saw his face plastered across social media. Anger, shock, disbelief. Kevin came into my office, quietly one afternoon. Are you sure you want to see him? He asked. I need closure, I said. He handed me a folder. I testified publicly. Everything I saw, recorded, verified. The truth is out. I held it in my hands, breathing evenly. Good. Months later, the knock on my office door startled me. I looked up. Daniel stood there, rain soaking his hair. Face pale, eyes red. He didn't say anything at first. Just stood. Broken. Finally, he whispered, voice trembling. I loved you. I closed the file in front of me and leaned back in my chair. No, I said calmly. You loved yourself. He swallowed hard. I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to? I repeated, voice steady. You made choices. You knew the consequences. And yet here you are, crying like I once did. Tears ran down his cheeks. I wanted everything back. Too late, I said. The world doesn't owe you forgiveness. He looked at me, searching, desperate. Please. I shook my head. You wanted admiration, control, attention. You never loved anyone but yourself. And now, you've lost it all. He sank to his knees outside my door, rain dripping down. I heard footsteps retreat. The sound of his failure echoed in the hall. No one cheered. No one mocked. It was quiet. Perfectly quiet. I closed my office door slowly. Emma peeked in. Is it done? Yes, I said softly. Do you feel better? She asked. I nodded. I watched him fall. And now I can finally breathe. The weight of years lifted from my shoulders. Months of fear, pain, and betrayal melted into calm. The sky outside was gray, but I felt sunlight inside. He had everything he wanted once. And he lost it. I whispered to myself, quietly but firmly. No one worships you forever. And for the first time I smiled. The office was quiet. Too quiet. I stared at my computer screen, but the numbers didn't register. Emma tapped my shoulder. Lunch. I shook my head. Not hungry. You're pale. You need air. I'm fine, I muttered, but my voice sounded hollow even to me. Marcus appeared at my desk, still staring at spreadsheets. I forced a small smile, trying to focus. He leaned against the desk. You look exhausted, Lily. Not from work. I sighed. After everything, it's not simple. I expected relief, happiness even. But I just feel empty. That's normal, he said quietly. You chased revenge, not peace. I thought exposing him would fix me, I admitted. I thought proving the truth would erase the pain. Marcus shook his head gently. Truth doesn't erase pain. It clarifies it. Healing comes after clarity. Emma joined us with a tray of tea. You can't rush this, Lily. You can't rebuild overnight. I feel like I lost myself in the process, I whispered. You lost him, not yourself, she corrected.
You survived.
That's the part you can rebuild. I held the cup she handed me, feeling the warmth seep into my fingers. Do you regret it? Marcus asked. I stared at my reflection in the window. I regret trusting him blindly. But I don't regret standing up for myself. You learned something, he said simply. And that's worth more than revenge. I thought revenge was power, I murmured. Turns out, it was just a mirror, showing me what I allowed in my life. Emma nodded. You're stronger now. Not because he fell, but because you stood for yourself. I took a deep breath. I always believed victory meant hurting him. But it doesn't feel like victory anymore. Because it wasn't, Marcus said. Truth was the victory. The rest was just noise. I closed my eyes and let that sink in. For the first time, I wasn't running from fear or pain. I wasn't trying to fix what others broke. I just was. Emma smiled. Come on. One step at a time. Life's waiting. I nodded. I'll try. Marcus placed a hand lightly on my shoulder. You're not alone. I whispered softly to myself. I survived. And now I can live. The empty feeling in my chest began to fade, replaced by quiet strength. Revenge didn't heal me. Truth did. And for the first time, I felt free. Boxes of files and laptops surrounded the small office Sophia and I rented. I still can't believe we're doing this, she said, stacking papers carefully. We earned it, I replied, adjusting my chair. Every late night, every mistake I corrected that led here. Sophia smiled. And no Daniel interference. No interference, I confirmed. Marcus stopped by, leaning against the doorway. You've rebuilt fast. I rebuilt differently this time, I said. For me.
He studied me gently.
And what about forgiveness? For him. I shook my head. Forgive myself, yes. Forgive him? Never. He nodded thoughtfully. That's fair.
Healing isn't about him.
It's about you. The next morning, I walked past the hospital where it all ended before. The entrance looked ordinary.
Cold.
I stepped inside, heart tight, and traced my steps back to the bed where I almost died. A nurse glanced up. Can I help you? No, I said softly. I just wanted to thank fate. I sat silently in the chair, hands folded. No words, no tears. Just gratitude that life had given me a second chance. Sophia's voice came over the phone. Lily, lunch break? I'll be there in 10, I said. Outside, sunlight filtered through the trees. The world moved on. I was alive. I was free. Marcus walked up beside me quietly. What do you want now? I thought for a moment. The memory of betrayal, heartbreak, and revenge lingered. Then I exhaled slowly and smiled.
Peace.
He nodded. That's a good choice. We opened our new office officially that afternoon. Clients arrived, curious and eager. Sophia whispered, It feels real. It is real, I replied. And it's ours. I watched employees move about, typing, smiling, solving problems together. A warm energy filled the room. No more secrets. No more manipulation. No more people controlling my life. That night, I stood at my apartment window, looking at the city lights. The wind carried a quiet promise. I whispered to the universe softly, "Thank you for everything, even the pain." Marcus appeared beside me, offering tea. "You look calm." "I am," I said. "For the first time, I feel whole." He smiled warmly. "Good. You deserve that." I took a sip of tea, letting the warmth spread. "I choose my life now," I said. "Lily," Marcus said gently, "you've finally chosen you." "Yes," I replied. And for the first time in years, I didn't think about revenge, betrayal, or loss. Only about the life I wanted to build. The life I deserved. The life I finally had. And I felt complete.